I like the pure music, the violin especially. The beautiful sound, that's the best I can say.
Music is still so important to the kids of this community that they have something so unique and that belongs to them. Then I'll ask them, name the farthest American city you can think of. Los Angeles, California, and I'll say, they don't have it. They don't have it and it doesn't belong to them. And even if they like our kind of music, which is ours, it belongs to you kids because your ancestors invented it and they handed it down to you. In this region, a certain style of music gives a community identity.
Seems like we have somebody from overseas, at least one or two people every week. The gals take it for granted that that's going to happen. It still sort of amazes me. You get people in New Zealand, and they're coming here for 2 or 3 weeks, and one of the places they want to see is County Sales Warehouse in Floyd. There's certainly plenty of music just down in our area of southwestern Virginia, but there's appreciation for it all over the country and outside the country too. And now, of course, they can also time it so they can go to the country store and get on the crooked road and see, you know, some of the other venues, which is great.
I like to dance, and I don't get to the country store as often as I'd like to, but I do like, you know, when you're in there and you see the young and the old. I've been baking here in Floyd for about 13, 14 years for restaurants, caterers, and finally have my own kitchen thanks to my wonderful father and his wife Martha.
I sure am. The last time I was here, you had sold out of those. Okay, now you know.
They bought this property a while back, and we decided to put my house and the little bakery in it, and it's been open almost 2 years. It's like the little village dream. And what's nice about Floyd is whether it's local farmer families, alternative thinkers, artists, you know, there's kind of a, we all come together, there's an acceptance. Even if you're, you know, of different views, there's still sort of a, we all care about our place, ultimately. That's a pretty big deal.
It's set up to a motor or something, or a pedal. So
we have our own culture, and I loved my neighbors and my family. But we all talk a little funny compared to the rest of the world, and you're always called a hillbilly or a hick, or I would say I was from Willis, which is other end of Floyd. You know, I absolutely loved it. I loved the mountains, I loved the creeks, I loved the meadows, I loved the real honesty of the people and the privacy that you were afforded. People left you alone unless you needed help, and then your neighbors were there. I love the big wide eyes and the smiles on the faces and the women with the big eyelashes that are painted. You know, it is a true folk art because it doesn't pretend to be anything else. And it was done simply for the enjoyment.
It's just not about performing as much as just playing for the folks that are around, and if you can get some response from folks wanting to dance to it, that's where it's at for me. I'd rather play for people that are doing something active than just sitting there looking at me. Good to call my friends up that I know will be compatible with me to play. And I bought me a banjo, an old-time banjo from a fella. And it had some bird's eye maple on the rim. I was real attracted to that. And then I later saw a door that had come off a closet in an old house that had bird's eye maple flooring recycled into a door. I thought, well, shoot, that door, they're not going to use the door anymore. I'll just take the wood and try to make a banjo with that, my first one. So I just recycled some flooring and glued up pieces to make it big enough for a neck, and set about making the first one. It looked like the first one too.
People really want to see Floyd succeed. This is a farming kind of place. Everybody's got a backyard garden. How are we ever going to start a farmer's market that is anything but a collection of tourists? The community has risen up amazingly to support that farmer's market. It's better than any small town market I ever dreamed would exist. Floyd is an amazing collection of food production. Has been for hundreds of years. What do? We create the food up here in the country, we ship it out to the mountains. Most of, baked goods, eggs, meats that are going out to the cities in this area are from Floyd. I think the upswelling of the agricultural community, the marketing community around here, has been exemplary, has raised many, many eyebrows. We believe that coming together and that strength is ever so much more powerful.
Living on top of a high plateau in Southwest Virginia is hard for everybody. As long as everybody helps each other out, a lot of cultural things tend to fall by the wayside, which is why we have a pretty diverse culture here in Floyd, I'd say. And that we have an opportunity to actually create a model of a sustainable community. A small rural community that has rural prosperity, where people can make a good living working hard and live where they want to live.
We got a view on top of our hill that is just spectacular. You can see 360 degrees all the way into West Virginia, back down into the southern end of the county, and Buffalo Mountain, Rocky Knob, all that place along the parkway. It's just a beautiful place, And we fell in love with it the minute we saw it. And, we took about 2 days to find the place, and we've been here ever since. My main focus for the last little bit has been wood carving. I've just always been drawn to the process. It's a subtractive process, you take away things and you arrive at a finished product, and it's just always been drawn to that kind of process. And then the wood, I just always loved wood and working with it, and I've been making things ever since I can remember. I just always done it. This place is very important to me, to the work I do. This is like working in paradise. I love what I do, and I love where I live. I don't ever want to leave it.
I'm weaving here, and Judy and Ursula, there is the GAM.
Troika Gallery is a gallery that I'm a part owner in, and I think it's a very fine gallery. It carries really local, high-quality crafts and very diverse. I'm an antique and flea market crazed person, so Floyd is a sort of little cluster of them. So if you like that, you're bound to find something that suits everybody's interest. I remember the first time I went to the Jamboree, I burst into tears because I couldn't believe that this was still happening, and it was right here in this little town. I still take people there because it's unique and real.
To be able to have a direct experience of the life of your community, of the life of the artists that live around you, is this more personal thing, I believe. In Floyd, it's a boiling pot of interactions and creativity among people who are from many different mediums. It gives vibrancy to this community, and I think all of Southwest Virginia is beginning to boil like that. I think it's going to be a very special region in years to come.